This lesson will teach you how to begin using the Arduino IDE. You will learn the basic parts of the programs called sketches. We will then load a series of sketches to make LEDs blink on and off at different rates and orders. Materials you will need for the lesson are as follows: the Odyssey board base and Key Studio Uno, 2 dowel rods, 3 resistor jumper wires, 3 jumper wires, 3 LEDs, and a USB cord. To begin, log into your Arduino Create account. If you are unfamiliar with this process, watch the video from this series titled Arduino IDE. Click on the Arduino Web Editor button. Let's take a look at the basic parts of the IDE. The checkmark button at the top compiles your code so that you can see if there are any errors prior to uploading your code to the microcontroller. The arrow button is used to upload your sketch to the microcontroller. The box to the right of that will show what kind of microcontroller you are using once you are connected. The lines in the white box is where you write your code. Let's load the code you will be using for the first activity. Go to tinyurl.com/obblink. Save the sketch in your sketchbook. The code should now be open in your IDE. There are 4 basic parts to a sketch. The first part is comments. The first line starts with 2 forward slashes. These signify that a comment will follow. These are notes left by the programmer and are not read by the microcontroller. Anything on the same line following the 2 forward slashes is a comment. If the programmer wants to make a longer comment, they can use a forward slash and an asterisk, and a forward slash. Anything read between these two are comments. Sometimes they can take up many lines. The second part of the sketch is for making declarations. Declarations tell what variables will be used throughout the program, kind of like ingredients for a recipe. Line 3 starts with int, which stands for integer. This means that the value of this number is going to be stored as a whole number. LED 1 is the name that has been given to the variable, and the value has been assigned to 7. The line ends with a semicolon. Always end each line with a semicolon. This is one of the most common errors when coding. The third part of a sketch is the setup. This part of the sketch only runs once, and it tells the microcontroller which variables and pins are going to be used. Be sure to always open and close the setup with a curly bracket. On line 7, the pin mode is setting LED 1, or pin 7, to an output signal. The final part of the basic sketch is the loop. This is where most of your program lives and is executed after the setup is complete. The microcontroller will perform the commands in the loop over and over until you unplug the power. Again, be sure to open and close your loop with a curly bracket. It is important to know that there is only one loop in a sketch. If you add another, it will report an error. The digital write command on line 13 sends a signal to pin 7, LED pin, to be set to high or on. Line 14 leaves the signal on for 1,000 milliseconds, or thousandths of seconds. Line 15 turns the signal off, and line 16 leaves it off for 1,000 milliseconds, or 1 second. Now that the code is ready, you will build the circuit. Mount the Key Studio Uno to the Odyssey board base. Take the female end of one jumper wire and the female end of the resistor jumper wire and insert them into the back of the socket block. Connect the plain jumper wire to G, ground pin, and the resistor wire into the yellow S pin in row D7. The D stands for digital. Mount the socket block on the Odyssey board base. Insert the long leg of the LED into the wire running to D7 and the short leg into the jumper wire running to G, or ground. Use the USB cord to connect the microcontroller and the computer. Click the arrow button on the text editor. When the sketch successfully uploads, your light should begin to blink on for 1 second and off for 1 second. If your light is not working, be very sure that you plugged the long leg into the resistor jumper wire going to D7's yellow signal pin, and the short leg is connected to a G pin. Checkpoint 1. Now try changing the delay value in your sketch to make the light blink faster and slower. Checkpoint 2. Add a second LED circuit to the digital pin of your choice. Change the code so that the two lights blink alternately. Checkpoint 3. Make the lights blink together. Checkpoint 4. Create a third LED circuit using another digital pin. Make the lights blink in order. As a final challenge, see if you can have the lights blink for random amounts of time. Hint: Arduino code is very well documented. Try searching the internet for the solution.